Hey guys, this video is going to be all about my Valentine's Day this year because it was definitely a memorable Valentine's Day, and so I thought it was kind of worth making a quick vlog about. But anyways, my boyfriend and I don't live in the same town anymore. We live about 3.5 hours away because he is away at school right now and I'm at home. So my friend Chanel was going there anyways and she offered to take me. So we went down and I thought that it'd be cool to surprise him and kind of stand outside his apartment window and throw snowballs to get his attention and then be like, I'm here, it's Valentine's Day. Well, it's the night before, but still. So we wanted to do that, but the snowballs didn't really like hit the window hard enough for him to hear anything, so we just had to go up and knock on the door, like boring. But it was still fine. And then that was a pretty good night, and then the next day I was really not feeling well, so I just kind of like woke up, had breakfast, and went to sleep like all day. And then I woke up and he was really not feeling well, and I was like, oh my goodness, what's wrong? I'll make you some tea, what do you need? And then he started to get really dizzy, shaky, just like trembling, and it was really scary. And he was saying he'd never felt like this before and he didn't know what was wrong, he didn't know what to do, and he was like, call the ambulance if anything happens. I'm really worried, and I was like, oh my god, like scared, because like I've never seen him like that before. Even when he is sick, like usually he's not that like freaked out. So I was like, oh my god, I don't know what to do. So waited a little while, he tried to have some water and whatever, and then I was like, hey no, we have to go to the hospital. So I texted Chanel, I was like, please come and take me and Tom to the hospital because he is not well. So we get there, and all you kind of do when you get in is push a button and you get a number out, and then you go sit down. There's like no doctors around, there's no nurses. I'm like, where is everybody like to see you when you first come in? Like what if someone comes in and they're like dying? So I thought that was weird that there was no one kind of there to help you. But we were waiting for a long time. He was really, really sick in the waiting room, and I couldn't really handle that. It just grosses me out a lot. So I was like, oh my goodness. And I had to like feed him water because he couldn't even like hold it. He was like trembling, and he was super cold, and I just felt so bad. He was sort of hyperventilating and like wasn't breathing properly, and I was like, man. So I went to go get someone to help me, and she was not helpful. She was like I finally found someone like wandering around, and I was like, my boyfriend's really sick, like I don't know what's wrong, can you come see like what's wrong or anything? And she was like, oh well, what's your number? And I was like, well, number 6. And she's like, oh well, you have to wait and we'll get to you when we get to you. I was like, are you serious? I was like, this is a hospital, this is your job to go and see if he's okay. So I was a little bit like stressed out about that because I was in the one place where I could kind of get help and no one was helping me, so it was really stressful that way, frustrating. So finally, after about an hour and a half, we got called in to see a nurse, and she was really rude, really not helpful at all, didn't really care. It's the vibe I got. And then she just kind of sent him in for some blood tests, and then after the blood testing, they sent him back out into the waiting room, and he looked like a wreck. I was like, you should not be out here right now. Like I don't know why they didn't give him a bed to keep an eye on him or anything, but they sent him back out to the waiting room, and like, I don't know, he was sick more, which is really like unsanitary for people around and stuff, but I guess they didn't care about that at this hospital. I was really shocked. I was like, are we in Canada right now? Because I feel like I'm at like a refugee camp, like in an undeveloped country. I was like, this is not how it should be. Like, this is like ridiculous. So we waited forever for these results to come back, and like they never did, and he was just sick and kind of falling asleep and stuff, and then he finally woke up. He was like, we need to go back home because I can't wait here anymore. And there were so many sick people there, and like there was this one mentally disturbed lady sitting a couple seats down from me and just talking about really, really disturbing things, like suicide and the voices in her head and all this kind of stuff, that I was just like, okay. And I was really uncomfortable sitting near her and hearing all of these awful things she was saying out loud. She was kind of like being racist and stuff, and I was just not impressed by that at all. And so we went back to the apartment, and it was a really long night. I didn't sleep very well. I just kind of stayed up to like watch over him and stuff, and so I didn't really get any sleep at all. And then in the morning I had to kind of clean up his whole house and everything, like toilets, laundry, so lots of laundry to do. And so yeah, that's my Valentine's Day. I spent Valentine's Day in the emergency room with a sick boyfriend, and then the rest of the days I was there I kind of spent them alone because he was just sleeping and trying to recover and stuff, so I was watching DVDs by myself, and yeah, it was really depressing. So that was my experience there. I guess it's a good thing I was there because there's really no one else that could help him, because I mean neither of our parents live there, right, because he's away at school, so I was really stressed out being alone. I had no one to help me deal with it. And so like all the responsibility was just like on my shoulders. So that was a big deal for me because I've never been in that kind of situation before. I've never had to be like the responsible adult caregiver person. Like usually someone's taking care of me because I still feel like a kid. But so yeah, that's how my Valentine's Day went. Definitely stressful and frustrating and scary and lonely. So yeah, not the best, probably the worst ever, but I'm glad I was there, like I said. But yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching this, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye guys.